Hello, everybody. Hope all is well. I apparently I think all of your chapter nines and chapter eights were submitted last night, as near as I can tell. One person said theirs wasn't submitted. I suspect there's another issue going on. So I think we're good there. In the meantime, I'll inquire with MindTap what in the world's going on. Now with Applia, before when we used Applia and MindTap, Cengage killed it off, but they just had to save and move on for each question. So you hit save and move to the next question, and they never had this submit the assignment at the end button. And I never understood the reason for that in the first place. So you can go back and you can change your answers until the due date comes. But if you hit save for each question, and that's on the exam as well, each question has a save button and you move on to the next question, you're fine. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with that button. And frankly, I never understood the purpose of it. But anyway, I think we're good there. All right, so now we've got the schedule for the rest of the semester. And we see that at the top of the virtual classroom. That's where I am right now, virtual classroom. And so here we are. Let's take a look. Schedule for the rest of the semester. Okay, first we're going to do externalities and public goods and common resources. Both of those are due next Monday, April 13th. So these are areas where we're not going to do the chapters in the book. Okay, this is very minimal. This is just enough to make you halfway dangerous, and so we're not going to spend much time on it. You won't have any homework questions. In fact, the book, again, you don't need to read the chapters. You just need to read stuff I posted in the module or in here at Blackboard. So there will be test questions on the next exam, but only to the extent of what is posted. So this is not your usual, looks like a lot. It's not that much. Okay. So after that, we get back into the nitty gritty stuff that any business major certainly needs to know. So anyway, cost of production, that's due the following Monday, April 20th. Chapter 14, Perfect Competition, due the Monday after that. Monopoly, due the Monday after that. Okay, I have them due on Monday. That gives you the weekend to work on them. So I figure that's a good day to have things due. But don't wait till the weekend, please. That's this cost of production thing, especially Chapter 13, lays the groundwork for the rest of the semester. And some of the curves and stuff that we derive get kind of tricky. Anyway, don't try to throw this together at the last minute. I've noticed some of you are doing that, but it's going to be harder. Okay, here. Anyway, more power to you if you can, but not recommended. Okay, Monopoly, and then we're going to close it out with chapters 16 and 17 together. We're going to give you a little more time because there's two chapters. Now, the first chapter is Monopolistic Competition, chapter 16. That is just read through that quickly, ignore the graphs and equations, and we're going to hunker down on oligopoly, which is a little more difficult. So that will be due Thursday, Thursday, May 14th. I'm stretching this out as far as I can. Final exam, which will be just the chapters, just this stuff. Okay. It'll be available Thursday, May 14th, due Sunday, May 17th. That's as long as I can go. Grades are due right after that. So anyway, there it is. It's posted right there at the top of the virtual classroom. There it is. Okay, MindTap customer support. There's a link to MindTap. All right, here we go with extranet. There's where we are right now. Exam 2. You're working on exam 2. Externalities. Let's take a look. Okay, a little intro, like a paragraph. Okay, these are short. A little article. This is about all you need to know of externalities. 1 page. Here, I'll even click on it. There, see, it's not very long. Some examples of externalities in there. Not long. Here's a short video on externalities, and then another video on pollution. Serious negative externality. That's it for externalities. What an externality is when decision making, when there are costs and benefit or benefit. Well, no, costs. Start again. I hurt myself here. When sometimes not all the costs are incorporated in the decision making. Okay, when we make a decision to pursue an activity, we only incorporate the costs that we incur in our decision making. We don't consider the costs that we impose on others. Okay, so negative externality would be, say, a steel plant pumping smoke up into the air. Well, when they calculate how much steel to produce, they are not considering, they're considering only their cost. But they're imposing very real costs on their neighbors around them. They're polluting the air, polluting the water. And these aren't just theoretical costs. People will get sick, and they will have to get maybe some health care. Real estate values go down, okay? If an area gets really polluted, try to sell your house for what it used to be worth before it was polluted, okay? Anyway, that's a negative externality. A positive externality is when all the benefits aren't incorporated in the decision. Okay, when we decide to go to class or go to college, get educated, invest in ourselves, we only consider the benefits to us, but the fact is society benefits too. And but we don't consider those benefits. So if left to itself, there will be less than the social optimal amount of education. That's why colleges are run. That's why we have public education. It's because there are public benefits. The market by itself won't produce enough. It'll produce less than the socially optimal amount. As with negative externalities, too much is produced, so more than the social optimals, because those costs aren't being considered. So that's what an externality is. There are external benefits, there are external costs, and anyway, that's in a nutshell what it is. Okay, so let's look at public goods and common resources. Short little introduction. Here's a video, public goods. And an interesting article, are we running out of natural resources? Another article from The Economist magazine just a few months ago about climate change. And that'll load as a Word document, by the way. I had to cut and paste that. Let me just read one. Let me go to that article. Let me highlight this paragraph here. To understand that context, it is important to understand all the things that climate change is not. It is not the end of the world. Humankind is not poised, teetering on the edge of extinction. The planet itself is not in peril. Earth is a tough old thing and will survive. And though much may be lost, most of the wondrous life that makes Earth unique, as far as astronomers can yet tell, will persist. The reason I emphasize that, and by the way, this article talks about solutions, the most economically viable solutions, and so forth. But that's an important point, because all too many young people think the world's going to burn up in 12 years. And they're asking themselves, well, why should I invest in myself? Why should I go to college? Why should I have a career? Why should I save for retirement? Well, anyone that pursues that path is going to be very, very sorry. The doomsdayers have a miserable forecasting record. We have burned through, no pun intended, deadline after deadline after deadline. Okay? The world was supposed to end a few years ago. Florida was supposed to be underwater by now. We've gone through these over and over again. A doomsdayer's batting average is exactly 0. They've never been on base, even. So that isn't to say this is not a problem. And I know what they're doing. They're trying to drum up some urgency to, take action. But it's like the boy who cried wolf. I mean, after a while, you start to wonder, well, wait a minute, that we keep going through deadline after deadline after deadline, and nothing's happened. Florida is not even close. That's where I lived before coming up here. Florida's not even close to being underwater. I mean, it's. I don't think the tide's risen an inch. So, I mean, don't design your life around the forecasting ability of these people. That would be a mistake. Okay, now let me emphasize, just because they're miserable forecasters and they've never been right yet doesn't mean that this isn't an important issue. Okay, so a lot of people are saying, well, these people are full of it. It's never happened. This is not an important issue. It is. This article makes it very clear it is. But if there's one thing I want to get in is, go about your life. Invest in yourself, get a career, live your life, plan for retirement, all of those things. Okay. All right. Well, where are we now? Oh, Knee Defender. Here we go. Here's a kind of a fun and interesting way to learn about the Coase theorem. All right, property rights. So go ahead and you'll get a chuckle out of that, I think. Okay, that is everything to get us going for this week. By next week, I will have, hopefully at the end of the week, I'll have Chapter 13 up and ready to go. And I'll place that right there. I place the new stuff right on top. So I think that's it. Again, hope everything's going well. Let me know if I can be of help. And feel free to contact me. And take care of yourselves and have a great week.